Hello, and we're back for part two with Jessica Darwin. Just waiting for Jess to join for part two. We went into overtime talking about the fashion calendar.
And we're back. Yay. Good call.
I was like, I need water.
I am surprised my dogs have not barked yet. I'm impressed.
That's amazing. I just gave my cats the food because they were like, screw you.
They're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, now I hear him walking. What are you doing? But he's looking at me like, what? You want to see him? He's my big guy. Deimos, say hi.
Buddy. Hi.
He's not impressed. Okay.
He's so cute.
He's forward. He's handsome.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we were talking about the fashion calendar, and I think that's a very important piece of information because a lot of people, it's like my friends and family that aren't in fashion, when I was doing ready to wear, they would be like, why are you showing this spring collection in September? And this makes no sense because it's about to be fall. So thank you so much for getting in deep with that. That was very good. Oh, there's your dude.
That's my dude. Luca.
That's your dude.
Luca.
Yes, I know your name, sir. I've never met you, but we're like, who is this? But yeah, so I definitely think that it's going to change because of what's happening. And I like the idea of having seasonless collections anyway because I don't stick to what's in season anyway. And especially when you wear a lot of black, I don't think it matters.
I'm trying to introduce a little bit of color. I actually, what was it? Earlier this year, went to Sayulita in Mexico with with like my best friends out here for my one friend's bachelorette party, and it was amazing. Like the colors there just were so inspiring. So I got this there.
Ooh, cool. Very nice.
This thing is like the most beautiful handmade pom-pom decoration that they make, and everything in the entire town was like covered in the most beautiful, brightly colored, incredible yarns. And they had so many beautiful like craft pieces. Everything's handmade in the markets. So that was something that really inspired me. And I also kind of want to try to include working with some artisans in Mexico, making some pieces, maybe making some accessories to go with my collection. Mm-hmm. So I know that you know Anya.
Yes.
Like one of my favorite humans of all time. Awesome. Anya Sofia, she has her own line. She's in Yucca Valley now, which is out by Joshua Tree in California. Nice. And she's doing her own thing, and she started this collection called Tio Cali, and she works with artisans in Mexico making these pieces, and then she brings them to Yucca Valley, and she has a website, and you can buy her stuff on there, but like everything's handmade, and it's incredible. So I was like,
is she still traveling? Does she have like a pile doesn't she have a pop-up store?
She does. She has a pop-up store. She like converted this awesome mobile home into a store,
Yeah.
and it's in Yucca Valley. It's closed right now because out there like it's high desert season, which means
Oh,
it's so hot that
yeah.
nothing's open. It's so incredibly hot, so they call it high desert season. So like they're not open for a couple months out of the year.
I would love to see you blend your aesthetics together. I did that in my recent collection that I'm about to launch.
Cool.
I took a course at FIT for business, and I met this girl named Melissa Lara, and her brand is called Munai, and her stuff is made in Bolivia, which is where she's from. So
That's awesome.
she kind of does the similar thing, and her stuff is silk macrame. And so we
nice.
pair with my bridal dresses for the next collection, and it's really cool. I love collaborations because it pulls a whole other side out of you. So I am excited for this. I think it's going to be really neat. Very cool.
Yeah.
So
it's nice. It's nice too because now that I'm doing product development for Zarena.
Yeah.
So what that means is I'm the person that when the designers are like, we love this, we found this random vintage fabric and we love it. How can we get it? How can we get it? So I'm in charge of like finding new factories and finding new fabric mills, new manufacturers, whether it be full package garments out of Italy or handmade sweaters out of Peru, or trying to find hand woven fabrics. Like how can we turn this hand woven vintage fabric into a jacket mass produced? So that's kind of what I'm doing now. So that's what I'm working on now too. So it's kind of cool because I'm trying to find more ethical, sustainable companies to work with so that Zarena can partner with good companies, not just like mass produced stuff.
That's super. That's great opportunity for you also with the small business. And I was that designer when I danced or designed for a dance company. I'd find things and I was like, how do you make this into a leotard? But so how do you, for people that have no idea about that part of fashion, how do you research those companies? Where do you go? Because you said about like sourcing something knit from Peru. That's like a whole other thing.
So it's basically so there's different markets. It's kind of similar to like, you know how earlier I was saying that you you make your collection, you put it into the showroom, and once it's in the showroom, then all the buyers at the stores and stuff come in and buy it. So there's actually earlier markets for people in design who are sourcing different materials. And so that's I'm drawing a total blank right now. Oh my God. Anyway, there's a huge one in Paris every year. Now everything's turning virtual, which is really strange, and like I'm still trying to wrap my brain around it. But there's different markets where fabric mills and manufacturers go and it's a huge trade show, not a market, it's a trade show. And so all the mills come with their new fabrics that they've been developing, textile mills and manufacturers. And so the design companies go out to these shows and they're the customers because they're looking for like, what's the newest fabric? We need something within this price range. We want to work with this company. So that's where you start to kind of like get to find more new, fresh fabrics and new ideas and stuff like that. And so I lost my train of thought.
No, so I went to my first fabric trade show. It was virtual, which was super weird. I can't even talk. But it was Tex World, which is huge, and that was definitely a learning curve because like everything was virtual. So we had all these appointments, and it was just awkward because a lot of people ghosted on each other. But you ended up like it was just hard with the times because a lot of the vendors were from like China or Korea. and so it was difficult. We ended up,
Yeah.
I finally have my first fabric vendor. I'm so excited. As a designer, I finally have one, but it's amazing, and it's definitely about relationship building, and they're fantastic. They're in Korea, and I really want to go visit now, but
yeah. I know a couple really good fabric vendors out of Korea. So there's good ones in Korea, Italy. There's local ones in LA. Like there's manufacturing textile mills still in LA. Mostly knits though. Most of them do knits, but there's all kinds of places. So it's like if you want jersey or French terry or any kind of like comfy knit, like LA has so many options. There's a lot of really good textile mills out here, which is cool.
Yes, so. Santine Alley, right? Is that what that's called? Yes.
What's that?
Santine Alley is like a crazy place. No, what was before that? No, it's not.
Santee Alley is where you go to buy knockoff handbags that fell off the back of a truck made of plastic.
Where did I go when I was just there? Remember, I saw you like 2 years ago. Where did I go? I don't know.
I don't know. I met you at 8.
Yeah. For 10 minutes, I got to see it. Yay! No, we were fabric shopping. I cannot even remember where we went. I don't know.
There's a fabric. Yeah,
guess it was.
There's a fabric district.
Yes.
There's a fabric district down there.
Santee Alley.
It's next to Santee Alley. There's a fabric district, but that's all just like where you can get it's like a big Joanne Fabrics, you know what I mean? But I'm talking about actually working with mills in Italy, developing proper fabric. That's how designers work with it. So
and then you get better pricing when you work with a
What's that?
You get better pricing when you work directly with a vendor, which is nice.
Oh yeah.
Stuff people don't think about, but
manufactured textiles.
Yeah.
So Santee Alley is just like, give me that roll off the back of a truck and I'm never gonna find it again.
Maybe we used it for inspiration. I don't remember. That was a whirlwind of a trip. I was there and we left. It was quick. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, hey, what advice would you give to somebody that's interested in going into fashion?
What's that?
You're like, Sheila, why are you asking me these questions? I have more for you.
I have a backup plan. No. Advice to somebody who wants to get into fashion. Learn everything you can. Absorb all the knowledge you possibly can. Don't think that you know everything. Don't think that design is a major part of it, because it's not. The design aspect of like, oh my god, I want to create this dress and blah blah blah, and it's gonna look like this and the puff and the that's not what it's about. It's about business, and it's about working with other people and networking and your connections and how well you can learn to find the right fabric to put your garment in for the right price that's going to retail properly. It's all about like supply and demand. It's a business at the end of the day. It's not just like, oh my god, it's so cute, which everybody says all the time. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to go into fashion design, because I hate that phrase.
Yes.
But it's not just about like clothes being cute. It's about like having every aspect that you need in order to create a successful product. And it's about learning how to educate yourself and finding the right resources and understanding how everything gets put together to create a really good final product for the right price that your customer really wants to buy. And that's it.
So as in regards to advice, again, so you work full-time for somebody, but you also are doing your own business. What I know what I would say, but it's not about me. Like, what would you say to somebody that's just starting out that wants to take the leap into having their own business? Would you recommend that they work full time, try and do it simultaneously, or?
Yep. You need to learn. You
Yeah.
you gotta. It's literally all about experience. I still don't know how you have pulled off what you have pulled off working from the middle of Pennsylvania, but
Yeah, man.
I think you're doing a great job because you do
Yeah.
have experience.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, even Jakia's
Yes.
saying it's experience. That's it. You have to learn the industry. You have to learn how it works. You have to see, like, if you want to learn what mistakes not to make, don't do it on your own dime. Work for somebody
I'll
else
start
and
like I did.
the mistake. Like,
Yes.
see what things that they do in order
Yeah.
to make a successful business or
Mm-hmm.
to break a business. So you have to get in there and learn. But you got to be smart about it. You can't just be like, I'm going to make a fashion company and
Right.
that's it. Like,
So
you need to. It's good to work simultaneously. So then that way you get to a point and see, make
absolutely.
mistakes, but not your own dime. That's how
Word. And that's what I did. So guys, just so everybody knows, having my own business was not my intention. When I began, I lived outside of Harrisburg, so I was afraid to leave. And I think when it comes down to it, like looking back, I think about it now, like I was afraid to move to a big city and to go for it. I thought that I lacked talent or knowledge, so I held myself back for a very long time. And while doing that, I did interview a lot in New York, but then when an opportunity came, I didn't take it. And that's something I'm thinking about now, and I'm like, wow, why didn't I do that? But it was fear. And because I guess I have that artist mind too, where you know how you think everything that you do sucks. So I was building a portfolio of work, which is how my website started. I was hoping that that would help me find somewhere to be, but in that too, with ready to wear, you can see my journey, because people that know me now in bridal don't know that I did ready to wear and swimwear. Through the years, I was kind of figuring out where I was belonging, and you can see like the collection that I did. I made a shit ton of mistakes, everybody, and I wasted a lot of money. So knowing what I know now, I would have not held myself back, and I would have went to work for someone else. I did for 2 years work as a pattern maker and then a designer for a company for dance. And that's another thing I did for decades, was dance as well. So it was a nice relation because I love costume. But yes, look, I'm rambling now, but the whole thing that happened with my business was a complete accident. I did not actually start making money until I got into bridal. And that is because I had to make the choice. I was planning my wedding and I took some time off, and I was like, what can I do because just making these ready to wear collections and showing them during fashion week is great, but it does nothing for you. So that's when I had friends asking me to make their wedding dresses because they couldn't find what they were looking for. And then that was my moment where I was like, whoa, this makes money. So that's where I am, guys. But it takes a lot of learning.
Yeah. It takes a lot of learning, but also like you have to keep in mind like that even though your path might not have been the same path as me, where I was like, I'm gonna move to a big city, I'm gonna go right into it. Like, you figured out and you made it work for you the way that like it's with I feel like with the internet now, like,
oh my god,
I'm like an old bogey. I'm like, what the internet these days?
It's possible.
Anything's possible. Like, the matter is, like, if you have the drive and you have the determination and you want to do it, you're gonna figure it out. It's just like if you live in a big city and you work for another company, yeah, it's like an easy, like, straight shot into figuring out how you want to run the company. But sometimes your priority is not moving to a big city. It's, you know, you want to stay close to family, and that's what's important to you. So you want to figure out, okay, how can I make my dreams happen and stay close to family? But I think anything is possible, honestly. So
Absolutely.
I think you're doing a great job, and I think that your idea of switching stuff into bridal makes perfect sense, because it's custom pieces are the way to go, because it's like each garment takes a really long time to make. You know, like you have to go through, you have to fit that thing multiple times. You have to pick the right fabric. You know, especially for like everybody's body is totally different. And when you're not doing mass production and you're just doing a couple pieces here and there, what are people be like, okay, when am I going to get some kind of custom clothing made that's going to fit me perfectly? And I have a budget for it. My wedding dress. That's what everybody does.
Absolutely.
And so it's like bing, light bulb.
Yep.
So I think it makes perfect sense for your location and your like what you want to do. I think bridal it's perfect. So, and I mean, and I'm going to be doing with my new collection, it's going to be just a couple pieces because it takes a long time to make each one and perfect it.
100%.
So, yeah. So, and I'll probably wind up doing pre-orders, or I don't know.
Yes. Do it. Pre-orders are smart. You know what's funny? I feel like when we were in school too, we were taught the old model of fashion and how like your company, you have inventory and then that's how you sell. Like that's what I always remember, inventory. And so when we first graduated, I started with 2 swimsuits, and I was really into the rockabilly pinup scene, and I knew that people would like my swimsuits, but I wasted money because I purchased inventory, and believe it or not, I still have some of the swimsuits because that is like the worst. I'm serious. That is the worst.
I'll take one.
Oh, well, they're the bigger sizes. I need to promote them. They're just seriously sitting in my closet because I'm like, I don't know what to do with them right now. But but I think now with everything changing, it's great with sustainability.
Hang on, sorry, my cat's trying to like dive across the entire.
Oh.
Sorry, I thought he was gonna jump 20 feet. He's looking at me like, you're not paying attention to me. I'm gonna jump.
He's like, wrap this up, Mom.
Yeah.
Sorry. Everybody.
Yep, I'm the cat mom.
Oh, yay!
This is Mercury.
You're so cute. Look at that face. I love animals. I do not have children. I am an animal person. Awesome. But yeah, so with fashion, I feel like now is the time of it's awesome. It's a nice change, and people don't expect you to have inventory now, especially when you're an emerging. I'm still classified as an emerging designer because I guess I didn't hit a certain whatever income stream, but I'm still on the small scale, and now it's like accepted to have made to order. And especially in bridal, I found this amazing group that I'm with now. I'm doing my first trade show, which is super exciting. Since everything's virtual, it made it more affordable, because that was one of my struggles when doing a collection, of being able to shell out 10 grand to just have my stuff for 3 days at this place and hope someone buys it, where now it's super cheap, and it's incredible because it's literally the same process, but it's virtual on my terms, and they promote the whole made to order thing, which is great, because then we're all not losing money because we don't know what's going to happen next year.
Exactly. It makes more sense. It's more sustainable. So
it's awesome. And that's why
extra stuff that's sitting in your closet for years, and it's just like
10 years later, still have those swimsuits. If anyone wants them, let me know. I'll show you what they look like. They're super cute. I'll sell them like $10. What?
You're like, I'll mail them to you for free. Please take these things.
$10, free shipping. Seriously, I should probably just post pictures on Instagram. I will do that. But yeah, so yay, this was a great conversation. I'm excited to see what you're working on. So tell me, I want to see if there's anything else we missed. Wait, you had a solo fashion show with Paul Mitchell in 2008. How did that happen? Did you just reach out to them, or?
Oh no. So one of my best friends out here, Senri, she's a hairstylist, and she does like editorial stuff like
Nice.
that. And she was a teacher back in the day. She was a teacher at one of the Paul Mitchell schools out here in Pasadena.
Oh,
And
great.
so,
Cool.
so at the end of the year, they put on a fashion show. They like sponsor and create a whole fashion show.
Mm-hmm.
And that way they have a runway. And so all of the students each have a model. And so the students get to decide the hair and the makeup, right?
Oh,
and
nice.
then so they need a designer. So Ree was like, my friend Jess has this collection, you guys would love it. They saw it, they loved it, they were like, we want to work with you, let's do a show together. I was like, okay, cool. And at that time, yes, I was like, okay, awesome, great. So at that time, I had been working with one of my favorite artists who actually inspired my Jinxed collection back in like 2007, 2008, or I guess it was 2008. But her name is Elizabeth McGrath. And like, so she was another one of those like, well, she's in LA, so I'm going to find her email address and just see if she's around and wants to work together. Just like, fingers crossed, let's see what works. So I just randomly like got in contact with her. I was like, hey, I love your work. I'm a designer. Here's some of my stuff. I don't know if you want to collaborate. And she was like, and she replied, and I was like, oh. She's like, that sounds awesome. Cool. Let's meet up sometime. And I was like, fangirl. So,
excellent.
So I met with her, and she actually at the time was a singer. She had a band called Miss Derringer. And she's like, dude, can you make me an awesome stage costume? I was like, sure. So we came up with this design together. And I got to post up a picture of that, but it's really cool. I made her this like vegan leather cage outfit over top of like a red satin dress, and it was really cool. So we made that together, and then I was like, I got this opportunity to do the fashion show, and I'm still working with her, and I was like, hey Liz, so I'm doing this fashion show. I was like, do you want to collaborate and like make a couple pieces together so that we can like add it into the fashion show? And she was like, yeah, that sounds great. And so then like Paul Mitchell had the warehouse space, and Liz brought in one of her new pieces. It's this like 3-headed deer head, not deer head. It's a 3-headed miniature deer completely covered in Swarovski crystals. You guys got to look up Elizabeth McGrath because she's amazing. Yeah. So she had just completed this sculpture piece. She's a sculptor. And so she had that out on display during the fashion show. We made a couple pieces together. I need to find the photos and post them up. But I made this vegan leather harness, like shoulder harness. Yeah. And then I gave it to her. She took the same faux leather, and she sculpted a miniature deer head with antlers that comes around the shoulders. It's so we made that piece together, and then I made a one-shoulder dress, so like an asymmetrical one-shoulder dress. And then she took that same vegan leather, created a sculpture of a dragon sitting on the shoulder, and then I have fabric coming out of it, so it looks like the dragon's tail wraps around your body.
Oh my God.
It's insane. I need to find those damn photos. They're on an old hard drive.
How long did you have to work on this stuff? Was it a quick?
This was like a couple weeks. We were just like, let's bang it out. So
that is so cool. Wow.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then like, so they had the runway show, and the hair and makeup was not what I was expecting. I was like, whoa, okay. It kind of like hours, but I was like, okay, I don't really have a say in it, so whatever. So that's why I haven't really posted too much of it.
Understood. I've been there with some things. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, all the models were like my friends. They volunteered to do it. My one friend, Sharon, who, oh my God, I love her. She was like, Sharon TK, yes.
Oh, she modeled my suits.
That girl flew from New York City to LA to be in my fashion show.
Oh my God, how cool.
So she flew out, and I had no idea what they were doing with the hair and makeup. They gave her a red afro, painted her face white, and put a star around one eye. I was like, I'm sorry.
I don't know about that.
It was interesting, but at the end of the day, it was really cool to have a huge supportive group, a huge supportive team. Paul Mitchell has just been like amazingly supportive. They love supporting small businesses and young creative people. And older creative people because I'm getting old.
Well, that's what this is called.
They love
Q&A with creative
designers, which is great. And they sponsored and created the fashion show back in 2008, and now they're like one of the major people like who buy masks from Safe Face LA, which is awesome.
Oh, fantastic. That's great. See, guys, you never know. Honestly, I feel like back to what you're saying when you contacted Liz, that's how a lot of stuff happened for me too. I just reach out to somebody. You never know. The worst they're going to do is ignore you or say no.
Yeah, you just gotta give it a try. Like if you wanna do something, just try it. Give it a go.
Yep. Oh, that's great. Oh, Sharon, she modeled my swimsuits in New York for my first show. Yeah. Oh my God. Wow. Whew, long time. Time goes fast. So yeah. Now we're winding down. So anything else that you want to talk about? Or anybody have questions for Jess?
Yeah.
Well.
Hey, Darksome Craft Market. I'm excited for that because I'm gonna have my website done for Safe Face LA.
Okay.
So website done by then. And I'm going to be creating some new, like, more spooky masks and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, time to tap back into the creative.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting.
New things because I'm like, obviously you can get masks anywhere now. So I'm like, okay, now it's time to get creative with it. So
yeah, I'm even making masks, which is not what I thought I would do. Lace bride.
I thought never in a million years. So
yeah.
Can anyone Jakia? View the craft market? Absolutely. It's online.
Yay.
Follow Darksome Craft Market, and she posts up all kinds of information and updates and stuff like that. I think it's happening October 16th to 18th is when we're going to be doing it. It's virtual. So what she does is like you go to her website, which I think is like Darksome Craft Market, but you see it on her page. You go online, and then she has all of the different vendors listed, and you can go through and you can just shop each brand, and it takes you directly to like everybody's websites, so you can shop directly from everybody's websites. And a lot of people will be doing promotions, and a lot of people will also be donating some of the sales to help benefit Mount Moriah Cemetery, which is the place where it was last year. So
very nice.
Yeah, so it's cool because it's like, upkeep the grounds of the cemetery, which is rad. So
awesome. I'll make sure to tag it in your stuff on here. So all right, well, hey Jess, thank you so much for this chat. This was fun. It was nice to see your face. And I know, tune in guys next Thursday. So today is my 10th episode with Q&A with Creatives, which is really fun. I can't believe people are actually listening. Thanks. So next week is a behind the scenes little thing that I'll be doing with Moonai accessories, and that'll be a fun little thing. So a break from this, and yeah. So thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. See you guys next week.
Bye.